Another primary example of the architectural imagination is the system of perspective. I want to tell the story of the invention of perspective by the Italian architect Filippo Brunelleschi. Brunelleschi was an architect in Florence. He was actually trained first as a silversmith. And Brunelleschi noticed that when he stood in the doorway of the Florence Cathedral and looked out at the Florence Baptistery, which was just across the piazza, he noticed something about orthogonal lines, that all orthogonal lines converge to a point in infinity. Brunelleschi wanted to make his observation scientific. Now, as a silversmith, Brunelleschi could make a very highly polished silver surface that would reflect like a mirror. Brunelleschi turned his back to the baptistry, put the mirror on an easel, and if he fixed his vision, if he made a kind of aperture that fixed his vision, then he would be able to etch in the points on the silver surface, which were the corners of the baptistry. And then he would be able to draw and etch on the surface the way the orthogonal lines of the baptistry converged toward a single vanishing point. And then he would finish and paint over the silver perspectival image of the baptistry, so that when he held the image up before the baptistry, he could match exactly the image to the actual thing and see that it was a scientifically constructed linear perspective. So perspective as a system brings together self and the world. It brings them all together and organizes them according to a single point of view. It's important that perspective anticipates a modern, rationalized conception of space. But it's even more important that the viewing mind is productively caught up in its own world. It challenges the view of a separation of a pre-existing stable world that's separate from the viewing mind. It brings those two together.